Homeschoolers are not uniquely abused. I've gotten this comment like a dozen times in the last week that homeschooling is basically just a legal loophole for parents to abuse their kids. And I'm sorry, you can't just pull that out of your ass. There is literally a peer reviewed study on this. Ray and Shaquille published a study called Demographics Are Predictive of Child Abuse and Neglect, but homeschool versus conventional school is a non issue. They looked at 1,200 adults, and including formerly homeschooled and conventionally schooled kids, and they surveyed them about all forms of abuse. And once you control for things like poverty, foster care, family structure, and family size, whether you were homeschooled or public schooled, was not a significant predictor of abuse. And, I'm not going to claim it's never happened. Obviously, it has. There are over 3 million homeschoolers in the United States. But does that mean that no parent has ever pulled their kid out of school so they could, isolate and abuse them? Obviously not. There are horrible parents. There are horrible religious parents. There are parents who use homeschooling to hide abuse. Absolutely. But that is completely different from saying homeschooling is synonymous with abuse. And if we're going to say the whole school protects kids, line, which I've heard a lot, there's another data set you're not going to like. Hansen and Lang published a paper called Back to School Blues. They look at suicide rates for teenagers across the calendar year. They fell off a cliff in June, July, and August. They go right back up in September, and they fell off in December. And you know what those months have in common? The kids aren't in school. And this isn't just like a normal seasonal variation. Adults are actually almost exactly the opposite. Suicides increase during summer and right before the holidays. Their 2024 Journal of Human Resources paper found that returning to an in-person schooling after COVID was associated with a 12 to 18% increase in teenage suicide rates. And does that prove that homeschooling, uniquely prevents suicide? No. But it absolutely destroys the idea that putting a kid inside a school building is automatically synonymous with keeping them safe, and taking them out is automatically associated with abuse. So yes, we should absolutely protect kids from abusive parents, obviously. But if your argument is somehow that homeschooling is synonymous with abuse, you need evidence, because the evidence we do have says absolutely not. More than this, the vast majority of homeschool parents are doing it because they want the best for their kid. They want the best possible education. They want the best possible environment. Instead of 30 kids and one teacher, they want 1-to-1.